front of you is a 2008 Nissan Altima Coupe with 91,000 miles. Now, the Altima was originally introduced in 1993 as a mid-size competitor to the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry and other Japanese mid-size sedans. Now, the Altima is the mid-tier Nissan sedan above the Sentra and below the Maxima. This Altima specifically is the Altima Coupe, which is part of the fourth generation, which was around from 2008 to 2013. This Altima Coupe is equipped with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, which produces a little under 300 horsepower. Now, a third of the Altima's sales in America come from rental cars, which is a bit of a cool fact, and its peak sales in the last 20 years has been 335,000 in 2014, which is a very strong number and a very successful selling vehicle. Now, in this video, I'll be taking you around the Altima Coupe, showing off its unique features and characteristics, and seeing where it falls in the Relentless evaluation scale. Stay tuned. A lot of factors that differentiate this Altima from the sedan model of the Altima, but as you can see, the bumper on this vehicle is a bit pushed in. There is not a lot of actual rear bumper. It is a very thin line. It's not protruding farther. In the Altima sedan of the fourth generation, you would see a much wider bumper post to this one. This one is kind of flat, and it gives it a bit of a sleek look. One other feature that kind of differentiates this Altima Coupe from the standard Altima sedan of the late 2000s or fourth generation, the standard Altima sedan kind of has a more bubbly look on the rear tailgate, whereas this one kind of has a sleeker design. As you can see, it's kind of a sporty line here that runs from the trunk. The Altima sedan is kind of a wider, more bubbly vehicle. To make this more of a sporty looking vehicle, Nissan kind of integrated that, and you can see it's got a bit of a chiseled look right here. Nice design though on Nissan's part to kind of differentiate the coupe model of the Altima opposed to the sedan. The only other major difference between the Altima Coupe and the Altima sedan, obviously aside from the fact that it is not a four-door, just the overall look. As you can see, it's shorter, it's a bit sleeker. Like I said, Nissan did a pretty solid job of differentiating it between the sedan. Having the coupe, the only two doors, there are two seats in the back that I'll get to eventually, but it has a bit of a sleeker look. I'll put a picture of the Altima sedan and besides it to show you, but Nissan did a pretty good job making it a bit of a sporty appeal. And as I previously mentioned in the introduction of this video, it is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder, and there is a dual exhaust right here, fit on the back, to give it a bit of a sporty look as I previously mentioned. Moving to the interior of the Altima Coupe, as you can see here, you have your steering wheel and your gauge cluster. And being that you get some certain packages on this vehicle, as you can see, you have some buttons right here on your steering wheel for easy access. As you can see here, you have a leather-wrapped steering wheel that's very comfortable. Got a little bit of a sporty grip right here. And moving up here, as you can see, you have a very standard gauge cluster right here. You can see your MPG when you're driving on the highway, your RPMs, your odometer. Pretty basic overall gauge cluster for a late 2000s vehicle. And one other thing I want to mention, similar to the Infiniti G25X that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, it also has a push button ignition right here to start the engine. Pretty much the identical thing as it is the counterpart to Infiniti. And these buttons on the steering wheel right here are your cruise control options. Press this button on, turns cruise control on. Flick this little nozzle down to coast in it. If you want to increase your speed while you are in cruise control, you flick this up to accelerate, and then cancel, it would be to cancel your last option. To turn cruise control off, you simply press the off button. If you got all the bells and whistles on the Altima Coupe, I'm assuming they would have some other features on the other side of the steering wheel. Nonetheless, if you want to go into cruise control, these are a pretty handy feature right here on the side of the steering wheel for you. One other touch on the interior of the Altima Coupe, You might be wondering what these two little buttons are on the dashboard behind the steering wheel, and these buttons alter what would appear on the screen of the gauge cluster. As you can see, I'll press this button, it goes from MPG from a bar to an actual readout, your time if you want to record a time of a travel, your range of your fuel, temperature outside, as you can see it is very cold, your maintenance settings or any other interior settings you wish to observe, and then you are right back to your MPG or whatever setting you wish to have it on. This little button right here with the circle on it, say you're in the menu of the maintenance settings and you wanted to select something, you would press the circle to click on that, and then you'd be good to go. Moving to the center console stack of the Nissan Altima Coupe, as you can see here, Nissan fastens you with 3 AC vents. Below you have your hazards and your airbag sensor button right there. As you can see here, this is an aftermarket radio infotainment screen. I'll put a picture of a stock one up for you. As you can see, you have pretty high quality aftermarket if you want to change it from the kind of outdated technology in 2008. Moving below here, as you can see here, you have your various different AC settings and the direction of your airflow, all right here at your fingertips. Pretty simple and easy to use. Moving below here, you have a pretty deep center console or storage space to hold a bunch of small miscellaneous items. If you don't want them to be seen, you can simply close it and then reopen it with a simple touch of your fingers. Moving along here, as you can see, you got your gear lever right here, handbrake, heated seats on either side of the vehicle, and there is a cup holder compartment right here. When these are closed, you simply hit the flap, they open up, kind of giving you a suave, clean look if you don't want to display your cup holders. But if you want to have some beverages in your Altima Coupe, Nissan fastens you with 2 pretty decent sized cup holders right here in your center console. And moving along with the interior of the Altima Coupe, as you can see, you have a pretty comfortable leather padded center console right here. Lift it up like so. You can get into a little center console for coins and other small receipts, as you can see. And if you want the full storage of the center console, you open from the right side, and you can see there's a decent amount of storage here, pretty deep overall for a mid-sized sedan such as this, and a coupe as well. But if you want to store some items in your center console, Nissan gives you a plethora of room to do so. And moving into the Altima Coupe, as you can see, the seats in this are a very comfortable beige leather interior. Very nice. I've been sitting in it to film most of the video so far. Very comfortable seats actually. For a smaller mid-sized coupe like this, Nissan fits you with some pretty big seats honestly for a small vehicle. Very comfortable to ride in. Definitely could take a long road trip in this thing and not feel uncomfortable at all. And one nice little feature that I didn't even recognize at first of this vehicle, on each of the front 2 seats there is a little storage pouch. So if you want to hold, receipts, pens, something small you can fit, you can hold it right here in the front center pouch of each seat. Not super deep, but like I said, something small could fit it in there easily. Pretty nice. Moving into the rear of the Altima Coupe, as you can see, it is a pretty tight back seat. If you need to fit passengers, you can, but obviously there is not an ample amount of legroom opposed to a full-size Altima sedan. However, if need be, you could squeeze some people back here. Overall though, in the back seat, the seats are pretty comfortable. Same leather interior as the front seat, same quality. You can throw some gear back here. As you can see, there's 2 lacrosse sticks back here, which fit pretty nicely because these are not the smallest pieces of equipment to haul. Also, you have a cup holder on each side of the rear seats. And overall, if you push, say there's no one in the front seat and you have a taller kid or child, they'll have plenty of room back here. I'm about 5'10". The seat's up kind of close, but still, if need be, you could probably fit someone back here. And if you're wondering how the storage is, as you can see, pretty decent sized trunk of the Altima Coupe. As you can see, there are a lot of larger items such as a ripstick in here and a binder. So in case you need to store anything in your Altima Coupe, Nissan provides you with a pretty good amount of storage in a small sedan like so. So getting behind the wheel of the 2008 Nissan Altima Coupe, the acceleration is pretty decent in this thing. The 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, it kind of takes you pretty solidly. One thing I will say, this car feels, I know it's a short vehicle, but it feels a little lower to the ground than I imagined. Like some of the sedans that I've previously driven, or coupes even, that I've previously driven, I should say, were a little higher off the ground, but nonetheless, you know, it's no big deal. Visibility is great in this thing, you know, it's a short little car, it's speedy, pretty compact. Like I said, the seats are very comfortable, as I mentioned multiple times in the video. Handling feels very strong, you know, I feel like I'm in very good control of the vehicle. As I said, it's a smaller vehicle, it's a little coupe, so it's very easy to handle opposed to something big and, you know, medium if you wanted to buy something like larger, a sedan or a car. Overall, I said the acceleration is pretty good, you know, and once you're at speed, the 2.5 holds you there, you know, nothing to worry about. And like I said, the gas mileage is pretty good as well. Going around a turn right here, the Altima Coupe takes its turn very easily, you know, nothing to stress over, handles it very, you know, easily, taking that one right here. Yeah, turning radius in this thing is great, you know, you can whip around corners very easily, just kind of maneuver it wherever you want. The steering wheel and the overall like quality of the interior is pretty solid, you know. It's you're not gonna get something, you know, lavish like, you know, a brand new Cadillac, but still Nissan does a good job, and you know, it knows that customers want a nice reliable vehicle, and Nissan equips you with that, so yeah, nothing to worry about. One other thing too, I just punched off a light right there, and you know, I barely tapped it, and it goes pretty nicely. Like this thing's got pretty solid acceleration. One other thing I will mention too is it is a very cold day. It is currently 25 degrees out in New Jersey, and the heated seats of this vehicle are awesome. Like my back, my butt, Nissan puts some pretty strong heaters in the seats. It feels very nice. So on a cold morning, if you're going to work in New Jersey, anywhere up north, it does a great job of keeping you warm. Nice touches. I would recommend if you want to buy this thing. And you know, this car's got a sporty design, you know, it'll catch some eyes, you know, and like the coupe is only around for one generation, only 5 years from 2008 to 2013, so it's a bit of a less frequent car you would see opposed to a normal or Altima sedan, I should say. And like overall though, you know, it's a nice car to drive, you know, if you want to whip around, kind of go flying, it'll provide you with that. And like I said, you know, it's a practical car too. It's a Nissan, it'll last you a while, reliable company, decent storage too, as I previously mentioned, but still, just overall, nice car. It's now time for the interview section, which will answer 6 generic questions one would ask if going to purchase a vehicle. Question number 1 is, do I like the Altima Coupe? And the answer is yes. Nissan does a very good job of making this a sporty looking coupe of a former robust sedan, and the driving experience is very nice, so yes, I do like the Altima Coupe. Question number 2 of the interview section is, what is my favorite part about the Altima Coupe? As I previously mentioned, it is the overall rear design, which is probably the most recognizable difference between the coupe and the sedan of the Altima. As I mentioned before, it's got a sleek bumper, a much more like narrow trunk, as it kind of like has like a V-shaped chiseled, and then you have the dual exhaust right here. So my favorite part of the Altima Coupe is probably the rear design to make it a sporty look. Question number 3 of the interview section is, what is my least favorite part about the Altima Coupe? It takes with a grain of sand because it is a coupe, but overall it would be the rear legroom. Most people will probably not fit many passengers in this, but you know, if you got something like a little crock pot as your passenger, fits pretty nicely. Overall though, being a bit nitpicky here, but my least favorite part would probably be the rear seat room. Question number 4 of the interview section is, what is the most unique part about the Altima Coupe? That have to be the odd location of the gauge cluster changer. This is kind of like a weird feature. I mean, this is common in Nissan and Infiniti. However, in most cars, the buttons to change the display in the gauge cluster is usually on a steering wheel or something like that. Nonetheless, kind of unique on Nissan's part. Question number 5 of the interview section is the Altima Coupe worth its value? And I would say yes. This vehicle holds its value pretty well. You can get one of these for a little under $10,000 in good condition like this one is. It's a Nissan, so it will last you a while, and this car is over a decade old. It is in very good condition. Or if you want a current Altima, the Coupe is no longer made. However, if you want a standard Altima, it is still in the low 20,000s. So I would say yes, the Altima Coupe and sedan is worth its value. Question number 6 of the interview section is, would I ever want/own the Altima Coupe? And the answer is no. While this is a very nice vehicle, I am a fan of larger vehicles and would personally not want to own a Altima Coupe. However, if you're looking for a nice kind of hybrid vehicle as a bit of a sporty concept opposed to a more dull sedan, this is a awesome option to get while having the better reliability opposed to a German counterpart. So yes, if you want something like this will be a perfect vehicle for you. Now that we've evaluated the Altima Coupe's sporty characteristics and features, it is now time to see where it falls in the Lemon List evaluation scale. Before I begin, I'd like to thank my friend Anthony for lending me his Altima Coupe for the production of this video. Now on with the scoring. Starting with exterior, the Altima Coupe is nice, leaner than the Altima sedan, but nothing flashy, and it gets a 6 out of 10. The interior of the Altima Coupe is rather basic. The interior is mainly plastic, but it fits the price you pay, earning a fair 5 out of 10. Road trip on the Altima is better than expected, however it does not compare to the likes of the X3 or the S-Class, and earns a respectable 6 out of 10. MPG on the Altima is alright for its class, as this is a lighter coupe that averages a semi-decent 27.5 miles per gallon, earning a 6 out of 10 on the MPG scale. Storage on the Altima is fine for its class, however it is still a coupe that is unable to compete with the likes of full-size trucks and SUVs, earning a 4 out of 10 for storage. Character on the Altima Coupe is rather poor. While this is a sporty-looking vehicle, it is not as eye-catching as an exotic sports car or bizarre vehicle. I'll give it an extra point for its rarer nature, earning a 3 out of 10. Wishlist on the Altima Coupe is also mediocre, as the technology is a bit outdated and the lack of storage and simple features such as a sunroof hurt its score, still earning a fair 6 out of 10. As far as handling goes, the Altima's lightweight frame makes it easy to maneuver around back roads and tight spaces. Still, it's a bit loose and lacks extreme precision, earning a 5 out of 10. Excitement on the Altima Coupe is low, as this vehicle is still an Altima, being one of the most frequently seen cars on the road. Being it's the coupe, I'll throw an extra point, which earns it a 3 out of 10 for excitement. Stupidity on the Altima is solid overall, not possessing many nitpicky flaws, earning it an 8 out of 10. Pricing of the Altima is rather good, as these tend to hold their value well if maintained properly. As I mentioned earlier in the video, current Altima start at economical prices in the low 20,000s, earning the Altima an 8 out of 10 for price. Engine responsiveness on the Altima is mediocre, as the 2.4 takes a little to get to speed, but will hold it once it gets you there. While it isn't incredibly fast, it is not as sluggish as a pickup truck, earning a 5 out of 10 for engine responsiveness. And overall amenities on the Altima is average, as it lacks the modern safety features and technology of current Nissan models, as this is an 11-year-old vehicle. Being that it is a coupe, you shouldn't expect an abundance of luxuries either, earning the Altima a 5 out of 10 for overall amenities. Add that all together, you get a grand total of 70 out of 130, divide that by 13 categories is 5.38. The Altima Coupe lands slightly below the median of the Lemon List, as it outduels the older competitors like the older Accord and Jeep Wrangler, while falling short to the modern Civics and various luxurious competitors. Nonetheless, the Altima Coupe is a solid vehicle overall, and marks a unique memory in Nissan's history. For those of you watching, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews on the way.